Your live, interactive coverage with Good Day Maine will begin soon. Good Day Maine's Friday Favorites starts right now.
Good morning and happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
We finally made it, everyone. Oh, it feels so good. And we've had quite a morning. Stephanie,
Yes.
been awesome to have you on Good Day Maine with us.
Thank you. You guys are great mentors. I've been learning the ropes and filling in
Oh, it's
for
great.
Jeff as he's celebrating his birthday.
I know.
I'm sure.
I
Big
know.
B-Day celebrations.
Hopefully he got to sleep in a little bit today.
I think so.
'cause he's going to be partying it up this weekend, so
I know.
he'll have that rest. So hopefully he's enjoying his day off. But
Well, I'm just hoping that the snow doesn't impact those birthday plans, Christian, because it might a little bit.
yeah, a lot of plans likely to be impacted tomorrow. If you've got Saturday plans, a big storm on the way, probably going to be our biggest of the season here in Portland, unless we get one after this, which is certainly possible. You never know in Maine in March. So, but so far for this season, it looks like this one is going to be the biggest one. And how are you guys feeling about it? I'm a little excited. We haven't had a windy, big
I
snowstorm
know.
really so far this season.
I'm excited for it.
I don't know if excited is the word for me. I don't know.
Mixed
Christian,
feelings.
you keep saying blizzard. You said blizzard a couple times throughout your-
Potential, right?
Yeah, I know.
You know, I
It's
don't
right
like to use
opposite.
that word lightly, the B
Right.
word. But this storm, it might be throwing the B word around a little bit tomorrow with the wind and the snow, especially at the coastline. So
The nice thing, though, Christian, is like the timing with it being a Saturday morning. Hopefully, most people can just stay home. We're not going to have school closures, things like that. So it's just a good excuse to take the day, at least half the day, and hang.
Have you
exactly.
noticed? Have
Couldn't
you
be better
noticed
timing.
that all the snowstorms and all the cold has happened on a Friday and a Saturday?
A lot of them have.
Weekend
Yeah.
plans really just get
I
shifted.
know it does impact weekend plans, but if it gives more people the option of staying home, which is good,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So
True.
Exactly. So less people will have to be out on the roads. And I know with the 4 storms we've had already this week, each one of those had several crashes.
Yes.
Even one of the ones earlier this week, I want to say the one on Tuesday, had 40 plus crashes across the state. So hopefully, because the storm is coming on a Saturday and there's just been so much heads up about it. I mean, people were talking about this storm on Tuesday when we were getting the last storm. They're like, hey, that Friday storm, it looks like it'll be even bigger. So hopefully, because everyone's had such a good heads up for this one,
Right.
it'll help people just
Yeah.
stay home and stay off the roads tomorrow. Because out of all the storms we've had so far this season, tomorrow's may end up being the worst one to be driving on the roads for.
I know, and I know, Christian, you've been talking about how it's a little different because we have wind being a huge factor, especially along the coast. We're going to kind of let you take it away and give everybody all the information they need to know.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So Katie and Stephanie, I will say goodbye to you guys for just a second.
Okay.
And I'll bring you guys back in here in a minute. We're going to pull up our weather graphics and let's get into that forecast. I'm sure many of you have some questions about what we're expecting with our storm. So if you're just joining us, welcome on. And of course, we're talking about our significant snowfall that is on the way for tomorrow. Would love to hear from you guys. How are you feeling about this storm? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, now that we are in the first week of March here, it does look like that we are seeing, of course, many people looking forward to spring now by this point. And here we go, talking about potentially the biggest storm of the winter. So let's talk about what we are looking at here on our storm for tomorrow. So snow starts around midnight tonight, heavy snow and strong winds all day tomorrow, really the morning hours all the way through the mid-afternoon. Things begin to taper off heading into the evening. And like I was mentioning to Katie and Stephanie earlier, don't love to use the B word unless it's really going to apply. In this storm, it does look like we do have at least the potential to see some near blizzard conditions, if not full-on blizzard conditions in parts of the area tomorrow. So a significant storm on the way, big totals looking likely. In fact, the trends from 24 hours ago to now have been for even more snow with this storm. So if you're a snow lover, you're jumping up and down. If you're not a snow lover, probably not so much, because the trends have been in a very favorable direction for more snow here in Maine. It's going to be interesting to see how much we actually end up with. So a winter storm warning is in place that goes through 7 p.m. tomorrow. If you're in Lewiston, if you're in the Lakes region, Naples, Paris, under that winter storm warning. So is the Portland area down through York County. So Sanford, Leamington, Limerick, towards the coastline as well in York County, under that winter storm warning. Now, if you're in Augusta, down towards, say, Brunswick, Bath, Wiscasset, in the mid-coast, still under a winter storm watch. And that's because there, it's not as confident that we are going to see the big totals of snow here. So if you're in York County, if you're in Cumberland County, in the Portland area, we are the bullseye for this storm. We are getting the most out of the whole state for this snowfall and potentially out of this entire storm here as it moves through New England. So let's talk about what we're looking at here in terms of totals. Of course, the big question, I've been messing around with that 10 to 14 inch bubble, and I have to say I have pulled it very close to Portland. I could see Portland easily being added into that 10 to 14 inch bubble of totals. It just looks very likely Portland is going to end up with a foot of snow with this storm tomorrow. So if you're in Sanford, if you are Travis down in Leamington, I think that's where you are, Travis. Yeah, you are going to get a good amount of snow tomorrow. So prepare to be busy, Travis, cleaning snow tomorrow evening. If you're in Lewiston towards the mid-coast, 8 to 12 inches is expected. Freiburg, 8 to 12 inches as well. 5 to 9 inches in the Augusta area, and a very sharp cutoff as you head towards northern Maine. There's likely to be a very defined line where south of that line you got a lot of snow, north of that line you didn't get much at all. So like I mentioned, we haven't seen any storm really above 8 or 9 inches in the Portland area so far this season. So a 10-inch storm, that would do it so far for our biggest storm of the season. And it does look like we could potentially get more than 10 inches of snow here in Portland. I'd say our odds are pretty good. I think we'll probably end up right around a foot here in the Portland area by the time all is said and done, but definitely could be a little higher than that in spots, especially if you're towards the lakes region and if you are in interior York County. So heavy snow is on the way. It's not too far away. It's going to arrive as we head into the midnight time frame. Let's talk about the timing here. Here we are, 1:30, snow beginning to pick up, and it will quickly ramp up from there. So snow will become quite heavy as we head towards the morning hours. Here we are at 7 a.m., heavy snow falling out there, and the consistency of the snow, which is a big factor when you're talking about a windy storm like this, at the coastline is going to be a very wet snow. Further inland, it'll be a more fluffy and powdery snow. So at the coastline, there is the potential of some travel or power issues, I should say, along the coastline because of that heavy wet snow clinging to branches and power lines, of course, and with the wind, it could bring down some power lines. So snowboard time at Pleasant Mountain, that is right, Nikki. You are going to be just loving the powder that they're going to get up at Pleasant Mountain. In fact, the ski resorts with this storm alone should have an incredible March. And of course, the powder looks very cold and snowy, especially towards the middle of this month. I don't think we're done with big storms yet this season. So yeah, we are, of course, talking about this storm tomorrow, but I would think that later in this month, I think we could see another storm. So here we are, 7 a.m. tomorrow, heavy snow, very windy out there, snow very pasty at the coast, very fluffy further inland, and we'll gradually see the drier, fluffier snow work its way towards the coastline as we head through the day. So here we are at lunchtime. Temperatures have fallen now below freezing at the coastline into the 20s to around 30. The snow will become more fluffy, blowing around easier. So even if the snow is fluffier, though, then you have to contend with it blowing around and reducing visibility. So just a terrible day tomorrow to be driving on the roads, especially through about 2-3 p.m. in the afternoon on our Saturday. So the snow will continue to wind down after about 1 to 2 p.m. and we'll gradually see things improving towards the late afternoon. So here we are, 3:30, just seeing light snow out there by this point, and it should gradually taper down from that point, completely ending by the time we get into the evening hours. And Sunday looks mild, and it also looks much quieter. Now, I mentioned winds are a big factor with this system, and of course, that will lead to major travel impacts here. So for tonight, we'll quickly see travel conditions going downhill. I'd say be home by midnight if you do have to be out and about tonight. By tomorrow morning, it's really going to be really tough out there for any sort of travel or just being outdoors in general. Heavy snow is going to be falling. It's going to be blowing around. It's going to be drifting, and that will continue through the middle of the day. And then maybe some gradual improvements late Saturday afternoon into the evening. So if you do, for some reason, have to get out and about tomorrow, if you can just hold off until very late in the day, that's when your bet of safe travel will be much higher here. So let's talk about winds, because they're going to be a big factor with this storm, something we haven't seen with most of our snowfalls so far this winter. And this one will have a lot of wind with it. We'll see winds gusting up to 35 to 40 miles per hour on Saturday morning, peaking on the late morning hours on Saturday, heading into the lunchtime time frame. We'll see gusts up to 45 to even 50 miles per hour, and that would certainly be enough for power outages, especially if we're still seeing very pasty wet snow along the coastline, coastal York, coastal Cumberland County, probably at the highest risk of seeing power outages just because it'll be wettest and windiest down in that part of the state. Things gradually calm down as we head into Saturday evening. It does look much improved by Sunday, and with mild temperatures early next week, things should melt pretty quickly here. So luckily, we shouldn't be dealing with massive amounts of snow on the ground for too long. It does look like we will see some improvements. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to bring up our snow map one more time here so we can go through our totals. If you've got any questions about our totals or what we're expecting in your neighborhood, drop them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them and give you what I'm thinking, what we'll see in your town. So 10 to 14 inches from the Windham area on the west side of Portland, up through Standish, Sebago, down into central York County. That is the bullseye. You can see that big bullseye of the heavier totals. Now, if you're in Portland, over towards the mid-coast, 8 to 12 inches expected. Up towards Lewiston, similar story. And Portland being right on the line of that 8 to 12, 12 to 14, or 10 to 14, I should say. I have a good bet that Portland will probably get right around a foot by the time all is said and done. If you're Augusta, further north, the totals will be lower, 5 to 9 inches in Augusta, lesser amounts towards northern Maine. So if you're in southern Maine, this is where we're going to see those heaviest totals for this storm tomorrow. Big travel impacts, just a great day to stay home and hunker down, because by Sunday, big improvements. So you'll be able to get out and do all the things that you want to do. So of course, we're going to be tracking this for you all through the day today, all day tomorrow. We've got Ryan Munn in all through Saturday morning and afternoon, and he'll be keeping an eye on the totals and the conditions for you. And of course, we'll be tracking it for you here on CBS 13 and Fox 23 all through this weekend. So stay safe out there, everyone, tomorrow. I'm going to bring back in Katie and Stephanie. And yeah, how are you guys feeling about this? This is going to be a pretty big one here. Not a blind. Of course, we've seen bigger storms, but it's definitely going to be a big, impactful one.
I'm excited. I can't wait. And I'm not the one that has to snow blow, so I'm just gonna get cozy, make some coffee, and it's going to be fun.
This is the winter I was warned about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I decided
it's like a sneak attack, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, we're fine, like no snow, not much, and then all of a sudden it's March.
Yes.
This winter has been very sneaky in that way. I've noticed it's been a fairly mild winter. We were running so low on snowfall. After this storm, we may actually catch up to our average and be talking about average snowfall for the winter. So yeah, it's really been quite the turnaround. It was very slow to start, but it picked up in late January, and ever since then, we've been getting plenty of snow, it seems like, and it looks like it's continuing here. And Buddy has a great question, still looking at about 1 inch of water equivalent. He asked me this yesterday on the live. Buddy, yes, pretty much exactly about an inch of precipitation here, so that equates to about 10 to 12 to 14 inches or so of snow for most of us here.
Something else, Christian, I thought was interesting. So you were off on Wednesday, and Ryan Munn did our weather trivia Wednesday, and it was about, I believe, the average amount of snowfall for March in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was around 13 inches. And then I was saying at the time, that's kind of crazy. We could hit that average for the whole month just in this one storm potentially. Or
right. And if Portland really pulls it out, let's say we get 14 inches of snow from this, I mean, more than a single month's average in one storm. That is definitely possible. And we've already had some snow in March. We've already had about almost 2 inches. Right. So we only have to get about 10 inches to catch up to our average for the month. Ooh. So yeah, it looks like March is probably going to end up way snowier than average. Of course, it's only March 3rd, so we've got plenty of March to go. It can snow in Maine until March 31st, and it can snow hard here too. So,
all right. Well, we're going to go.
Thanks, Christian.
Yes, thank you, Christian, for all of that. And we're going to bring you back in a couple minutes, but we want to show a couple of videos and talk about some of the other stories that's getting a lot of buzz this week. So let's say bye to Christian. And I want to know if you've seen this video.
Wild.
This is wild, right? When you saw this, did your jaw drop?
Yes. When you see the bison coming at the camera, and then I think the girl who's recording goes, oh, I hope they don't hit our car.
I know. She's like, I hope everyone's safe. So this happened in Fort Fairfield. 3 bison on the loose. Yeah. It is unbelievable. I've never seen a bison in person or even like this before. So they got out of their pen earlier this week, and someone just happened to be, rolling on their camera, had their camera ready to go to take this video, and they got 2 of them back. I think it was Monday, and the 3rd was on the run.
Yeah, it took a while to
corral them. Yes. So they did ultimately get that 3rd one into the pen. But just some wild video, and actually the owner is apparently potentially going to face charges because they got out.
Yes. pass by
Yeah,
livestock.
That's what it
So-
is. Yep.
So-
Yeah. So if we have this video up online as well, but that is just not something you see every
yeah,
day.
just a broken fence did that.
Yep. We also had some great news to start the week.
Yes.
We've been talking about this, for almost 2 weeks now, it feels. These two women from Topsom who went out, they were trying to go to the main mall
yes.
and didn't end up there and ended up in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and then northern Maine.
What a journey. 6 days they were missing. And, as the days count, you just kind of start to get a little bit more nervous.
Concern,
and
yeah.
when we heard about that last night and how their car was out of gas, they were cold and,
Negative 15
Yes.
degrees, right?
I mean, I talked to some people who heard that story and just were brought to tears.
Yeah.
Because it's just remarkable that they were found.
I know. It felt like everyone here at the station and all of our viewers and everyone on social media was like, I hope we can find,
I know.
these women. And they were found. It was a game warden on not a snowmobile who was around the
Yes.
trails, who happened to see the car and thankfully found them. And
in Hancock County.
yeah, and one of the women actually had a Mountain Dew bottle that was frozen solid. So it just shows you how cold it was that last night.
Yeah, that's like a crazy metaphor
Right.
to use. I mean, you think about that, and I know they were taken to the hospital and with some minor, hypothermia going on.
But
Thankful they were found.
Probably best case scenario, seeing what it could have been like. So that was great news to start. That happened Sunday night, I believe, that they were found. And Monday morning, it was just like, thank goodness.
Relief.
Everyone, I think, a sigh of relief. And here's some good news, too, that we absolutely love. Look, how cute is this?
I think the journey of this seal is so
I know.
sweet.
This was like, how many storms ago? I can't even remember.
Like a month and a half ago, this little seal kept just showing up on
in
roadways.
Cape Elizabeth,
Yes, in Cape Elizabeth, and insistent of just going onto the road. Well, they finally brought it to the Maine
Marine Mammals of Maine.
Yes. And so it turns out little pup was malnourished, and so they have been raising this little pup and made some friends along the way.
Yes. So let me see. I want to grab some. Here we go. So this was last month. The pup is getting bigger and stronger every day. And this was a little get well card from Isla, 4 years old. And we just thought it was so sweet, helping the pup to improve health wise and so much support. And I just think, when this all happened in the first place, I think Cape Elizabeth Police had shared some photos and it went, viral.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about it. And so it's been so awesome that Marine Mammals of Maine continues to share updates on the seals because everyone's wondering,
Katie, I've never seen a seal
They're so
in the
cute.
wild. I know. I love seeing the seals.
They're so sweet. So that was a very nice update. I want to pull up some other video here. Here we go. Let's talk about Needhams. Okay.
Look at that.
I want to know, viewers, anyone tuning in, have you tried a Needham? Have you heard of a Needham? We have been talking about them for a couple weeks now, actually, because Maine Needham Company in Saco, they are trying to get an unofficial holiday in Maine, Maine Needham Day. They are a very unique treat. It's coconut Maine potatoes covered in dark chocolate. I know. What are your thoughts?
It sounds good.
Yes, they're actually delicious. But mostly if you like coconut. If you don't like coconut, you probably won't like it.
You love coconut.
I love coconut, so they are fantastic. So we actually got to go inside so this is in their basement, the owner's basement in Saco. And this is where they make all of the Maine Needhams. And they make like thousands of them a day or a week, apparently. And it's very iconic to Maine, and people have a lot of memories of growing up with Needhams, and like my grandmother, would make these. So they're a lot of fun. They're very delicious. And
who thought potato? That's what I want to know.
So apparently, these maybe have been around for about 150 years. Is sort of the legend. And I guess the potato was a good crop at the time. There was a lot of potatoes to go around, and so they decided to combine them with coconut, and it it helps to make a really good consistency, apparently. Instead of just the coconut, it's sort of a binding agent.
Nice.
And it also doesn't really have a flavor, which is helpful because they put their own flavors in, like blueberry, maple, espresso, things like that. So these people, oh, look, Travis says, love Needhams.
Gotta try some.
I know. I have some at my desk. So that's the other thing. So they really want to share this tradition with like the younger generation, because a lot of older folks, you know, have these memories of Needhams, but they're like, we want to keep this going. And that's why they give out free samples all the time, which is great. Thank you. But also they want this holiday. So every September, I think the last Saturday of September would be Maine Needham Day.
I could see it.
Yes, I know. So I think it's a great idea. And so it's at the State House. They did a committee or like a hearing about it. I guess that went well. So we're kind of keeping tabs on that, but they look delicious, I gotta say.
Chocolate looks delicious.
I know. You can't really go wrong.
No.
And sticking with the food theme here, I'm going to pop up this. It is officially Maine Restaurant Week, which is awesome. So this is, I think it's like the 15th year for Maine Restaurant Week. And it started as sort of a way to give restaurants some more business in like the downtime, you know, in the winter, because, you know, seasonal Maine, Portland's hopping in the summer, of course, but sometimes, you know, the restaurants get pretty quiet in the winter time. So, so that's how it started. And it's a great tradition. So what happens is a lot of restaurants will do like sort of a special, menu, sort of like a prefix menu, and you can come in and get to try one of their sort of special menu items, which is really cool.
That's fun.
And there's like dozens of restaurants that take part in this, some of the best in Maine and Portland.
Yeah, and I think you have till the 12th, so you have some time.
Yeah, so this runs, so it started on Wednesday. Actually, I think we have some video too. Oops, here, sorry. Bear with me here, because I think we have some, we've got some video. Here we go. So this is how it kicked off with the incredible breakfast cook-off at Sea Dog.
Which just looked fun.
Oh, so much fun. Johnny Mappy was there, and he had a blast. And look at that. Oh, my goodness. Some of the things they made were just fantastic.
That looks good.
And I know. So that's a really fun event. That's sort of a kickoff. And then look at all of these restaurants here that are taking part. Look at all these.
That's a list.
And so it's not just Portland either. It's all across the state, which is awesome. And so they each have, they list, if you go to mainrestaurantweek.com, you can see the price range, indoor dining, and then you can see if it's dinner or lunch and all of that. So I do want to bring Christian back in because we love food, right?
We're
obsessed. And first off, Stephanie, do you have a favorite restaurant yet? Have you been dabbling in any good restaurants in Portland?
There's so many.
I know.
I was told by some people who live in Portland that you could go to breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a different place for the whole year.
Yes.
And there would still be
I think
more
probably
places to try.
Right.
So I've been to a couple places.
Nice.
Boone's, Scales.
Love Boone's. Love Scales.
So
you like seafood?
I like seafood,
Oh, good.
Of course.
Yes, I know you kind of have
Lobster.
to. Yeah, lobster. Yep.
I have tried Misen, really good.
Love
house pie.
Misen. Yep.
So
okay, you've been you've been doing so
do.
good. Yeah. And
You
Christian,
get around.
right? And I'm jealous, Christian, because you've been to one of the restaurants in Portland that like has been getting buzz for a while now, Leeward. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, Leeward is literally incredible. I've been twice now, and both times were amazing experiences. The second time especially, even better. It's definitely one of my top restaurant experiences I've ever had. It's not too insanely expensive for what a nice restaurant you're getting. The menu always changes. I got such a delicious pasta last time I was there. We got some carrot appetizers and some like amazingly fresh green olives. I didn't even know I liked olives until I tried them there, and they were so good. So yeah, Leeward, definitely one of my favorite restaurants I've ever been to. Probably my favorite in Portland, although I definitely have some other favorites. It's just depending on what I'm in the mood for.
Yes.
Green Elephant Thai is one of my all-time favorites because
good.
it's vegetarian, and usually you can't find like a all-vegetarian Thai restaurant. So it is kind of nice to like, I don't know, it's a little different than a typical Thai place. So I really like that about it. Portland has literally everything you could ever want for
I
food.
know.
You really could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a different restaurant every day for a year. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm learning about a new restaurant that's good every week, you know?
Seriously, I know. I feel like I'm always going out to dinner and I've only scratched the surface. But one place that I went to last weekend was Broken Arrow in Portland, and
Mm.
they are making some incredible dishes. They're very unique. I mean, I tried things I've never tried, scallop crudeau. I tried anchovies, and they were amazing. Like things I never thought, and they made a scallop risotto, and I think short rib, like with polenta. It was just, they were doing some incredible things over there.
And Portland
So
is a great place to live if you want to expand your palate. I feel like I
Yes.
have like tried and tasted so many different things here that I normally wouldn't have because I don't know, there's just so many options here. There's just so many different things that you can try. Like I never would have thought I'd love clam chowder like a year or two ago, but now I love clam chowder. Gilbert's Chowder House on Commercial
Yes.
Street. So good. One of my favorite places. Love that place.
Love it. All right. Well, enough about that because I'm hungry. So, Christian, let's get back to our forecast real quick before we let everybody go and continue with their Friday plans.
Exactly. So let's pull up our snow map one last time. I'll talk about our totals here. Of course, big storm on the way tomorrow, and it looks like it could be potentially our biggest of the season so far here in Portland. I'm saying so far because you never know. Could always get another one. 8 to 12 inches we are expecting here in Portland, but we are right on the line of that 10 to 14. And all morning I've been debating on whether to pull that 10 to 14 into Portland. I'm thinking it's probably going to happen here. So looks like we're going to see some big totals here tomorrow. Windy all day too. And so that's going to be a big factor with this storm. No, not good travel at all really for the day tomorrow. It'll be a great day to just stay home, stay indoors, let the snow pile up and blow around, and then just tackle it all at the end with the snowblower because it's just going to be so windy and it's going to be snowing so hard. This is definitely going to be one you'll want to wait till the end
Okay.
to get it shoveled and plowed. So just a great day to stay indoors. Plenty of snow on the way. It's going to be very windy, terrible travel conditions, especially tomorrow morning. So a great day to stay off the roads. And we're very thankful that it's a Saturday
Yeah.
and that schools aren't going to be impacted by this. Work isn't going to be impacted by this. And a whole lot fewer people are going to have to be on the roads on a Saturday. So that is really nice. So yeah, everyone, if you can just hunker down tomorrow, probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm happy to hunker down, Christian. Sounds amazing.
Cozy weekend ahead.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. If you have further questions for Christian, feel free to comment, and Christian will be on. You guys will both be on at noon. So
Yes, we sure will. Yeah, send me any questions you may have. I'm always happy to answer them about totals or amounts or kind of snow we're going to see, consistency. Always happy to answer those questions. So.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody, and stay safe.